Hi, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Live. I am your host, Crystal Fry, empowerment coach and speaker, helping women of faith find their path forward. I want to welcome you all in tonight and thank you for joining me, those of you who are watching here live and those of you who are going to join me on the replay. Hello, hello. Please say hello to me as you come in so that I can greet you properly. Tonight's topic is a really good one. Why self-help isn't helping you. Oh, good grief, Crystal. How can you say that? Aren't you in the self-help world? Aren't you an empowerment coach? Aren't you a speaker? Don't you tell us how to make our lives better? Yes, actually, I do. And I love what I do. Hello, my friend Tim. It is so good to see you tonight. Thank you for being here with me live. It is a pleasure to have you join me as always on every Friday night. Welcome, welcome. So tonight we're talking about why self-help isn't helping you. And as someone who is in this very large industry, you guys, the self-help industry is quite large. Quite large. And there are tons and tons of people every day who are doing Google searches and searching on YouTube and looking for ways to find fulfillment, find purpose, get unstuck, find their path forward, all of these different things. They're looking for ways to get the self-help that they need. And there are lots and lots and lots of people. Like I said, this is an enormous industry. There are tons of people out there who are offering self-help. As a matter of fact, I think, what was the number? This was a very interesting statistic when I was doing some research on it. The vast majority of authors, of self-help books are men. They're predominantly male authors who write all of these self-help books. Did you know that over 62% of the people who are interested in and purchase those books are women? I found that to be a fascinating statistic myself. True, I totally and completely can see it, but isn't it really interesting how a lot of women are searching for this and men are the ones giving them the answers? Interesting. Now, that's not necessarily why self-help isn't helping you, so I want to put that out there. But the reason why, okay, if we know that there is this need, right, because there are tons and tons of people out there looking, this is, like billions of dollars of an industry. There's so many people out there looking and searching, but why are they still out there looking and searching? If this is such a great industry, and if you help so many people, why are so many people still out there looking? Well, let's talk about that. And we'll talk about the reason why it's not working. Because, and listen, I have lots of self-help books. I have a bookshelf over there, like full of them. I've read a lot of them. Some of them are really, really good. Some of them provided me with a lot of really great insight into things that I needed to work on. But the problem with that comes in that it's a book, right? I can't ask the book questions. The book may cause me to ask questions, but I can't ask the book questions. I can't have a dialogue with a self-help book. And it's not just self-help books. That's just one that I'm talking about right at this moment, but it's not just self-help books. There are online courses. There are seminars that you can go to. There are programs. There are coaches. I am a coach. Okay. I said that right in the beginning. I am an empowerment coach and a speaker. There are all of these different things. But when you are in the world of self-help and you are reading the book, and maybe you're getting some insights, maybe you're getting a little bit of inspiration. I know I have read several books that have really triggered me to do some deep thought work and really some deep inside work. But the problem is it's only surface level. Reading the self-help book, doing the online course, and let me just do a little side note here. If you're going to take an online course, a personal development course, vet it, right? Make sure that it's a good one. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there who their help isn't really help. And that is very unfortunate. I've done that myself. I've paid for things. I've paid a lot of money for things that didn't help me at all. So vet it, be careful with it. But the problem with doing that when you're not engaged with another person, someone that you can speak with, or a group, a community that you can engage with and interact with and have honest conversations with, you're only going to scratch the surface, because that book is general, right? It even may be written for, specifically for women, or specifically for men, or specifically for professionals, which is good. But here is the thing. Yes, Tim, that is exactly right. Watch out for the scammers offering fake help, because they're out there. You guys, like I said, I unfortunately, in my quest, my decades long quest to find my purpose, to figure out, like, what's wrong with me. I love that, because there's nothing wrong with you. But, we always ask ourselves, like, what's wrong with me? Why am I still fighting this? Why am I still struggling with this? All those things. I've come across some that sound really good, and I've paid a lot of money for it because I was desperate to find someone to help me, and it didn't help. It may have helped a little bit on the surface, but it didn't really help me. It wasn't lasting. The impact of it wasn't lasting. It did not create real change for me in my life. That didn't actually happen for me. And you guys, when I talk to you about this being a years-long journey, and I say decades multiple times, because, I'm 39 years old. I've been searching for my purpose seriously since I was 18. Okay, so when I say decades long, I'm talking about 2 decades of my life trying to figure out my purpose and what's the meaning of life and all of these things and where do I fit in, all of these things. It's been a struggle for me for a long time. And I didn't get any real traction. I didn't get any real momentum. I didn't find any real answers until I started working one-on-one with a coach. And let me tell you why. This is not just a shameless plug for coaching because I'm a coach. I want to explain to you the value of having someone, a real person, who can ask you the questions that the book is not going to ask. Because the book can't hear the hesitation in your answer. When the book says, write down the things that that make you afraid. Think about a time when you've come up against a great obstacle, and what did you do about it? How did you feel about it? That's a great question. That is a great question that causes you to really think about that and think about your emotions, because we know that our emotions drive our decisions many times. And so we need to understand them. We need to unpack them. We need to be able to get down to the root of what's causing that emotion so that we know what to do with it. But when the book tells you to write your answer down, that's great. The book can't tell you what to do about it next. The book can't hear the hesitation in your voice when you're answering the question, right? Because in a coaching session, and you guys, you might do them differently, or you might have experienced them differently, but when I work with my clients, I work with them one-on-one. And I actually do video conferencing with my clients because, we don't really do in-person stuff still. And being video conferencing allows me to serve clients all over the world. And so, I'm on video with them. I can see them. I can hear them. I can watch their facial expressions. I can hear the tone of their voice. I can listen for the pause. I can listen for the hesitation. I can see the struggle. And you guys, that one has made a huge difference for me in my ability to help my clients personally. But that was one of the major places where I was able to dig and find resolution to things that I didn't even know were issues for me, because that is how my coach worked with me. She could look at my face and tell that I was holding back on things. And then she could gently probe a little bit deeper, ask a little bit more of a detailed question, encourage me, remind me that I was in a safe space, remind me that there was trust there, remind me that her sole purpose was to support me in my growth and my ability to push past all of the crap that I had piled up in front of myself that was not allowing me to move forward. A book can't do that for you. It can't. And listen, I'm always open for debate. So if you know of a book that can ask questions back to you and that can make you dig deeper and that can continue to push you forward, you guys drop it in the comments and let me know, because I want to go read it, right? So self-help, that is part of the problem, is this concept of self-help. That inherently means I can do it by myself. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not meant to do life by ourselves. Human beings were not created to be singular, to, what is it? No man is an island unto himself. That's real. And I'm not saying that you need to have, this massive group conversation or this huge community of people. If that's what you need, that's great. And let me tell you, there are plenty of options out there for you on that. But you definitely are not going to get to the level you want to get to trying to do it all by yourself. And I say this with full confidence because, like I just told you, that is what I spent years trying to do, trying to figure it all out on my own, reading every self-help book that I could get my hands on, going through them and thinking, oh, wow, yeah, that's really great. That's really great. But there was no accountability. There was no follow-up. You see, when you're working with someone or with a group, and I will even take this into when you're looking at therapy, whether it's group therapy or individual therapy, any of those kind of things, when you are working with another person on your personal development and on getting past the barriers and the roadblocks that are keeping you stuck and miserable and frustrated and unable to push forward, when you are working with another person on that, you now create an environment of accountability. See, and this is another reason why self-help doesn't work, why we can't do it by ourselves, because we will find an excuse, find a reason, find anything to let ourselves off the hook. When it gets hard, when you start to journal and you start to come up with these things that start coming up about why you have a fear of this, or why you can't seem to get yourself together, why you are always late, why you can't seem to muster up the courage to ask for a raise or a promotion, or go out and take a chance and apply for a new job or start a business or anything, or enter into a new relationship or end a toxic relationship. When you start to try to do that work to really figure it out, and it gets hard, it gets sticky, it gets messy, you start to think about things that are uncomfortable. Like, wow, I am always late. I have a difficulty being on time for places because I am lacking in self-respect. I don't respect my own time. I don't respect, I don't have a high enough level of respect for myself. Therefore, I don't respect the time of others either. That is painful. Why don't I trust people? oh, well, I don't trust people because I have a massive wall up because, I was treated very poorly in a relationship. I struggle to move forward with a new partner because my last partner cheated on me and I don't know how to process that and deal with that. So I don't trust. And so now it's just, this is what it's going to be. When you start to dig those things up, I have a fear of success because I was told all of my life while I was growing up that I wasn't going to be successful, that I wasn't going to amount to anything. I have issues, trusting men because my dad abandoned me. When you start to dig into things like that, as you're trying to get out from underneath the weight of the barriers that are sitting on top of you that you can't get past, it's very, very easy and very, very common to quit because it's hard. And, I've talked about this before. Our brains don't want us to be in a place of perceived pain, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whether it is, we don't want to be in pain. People do things for two reasons: to move away from pain or to move toward pleasure. That's just about, that's about it. We're human beings. That's what we do. And so when you get into that place where it's painful and you're doing it alone, no, that's good. I'm good. I'll keep pretending. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. No, we're good. The mask is perfectly fine right where it is because it hurts to take it off. The difference between that and working with someone, whether individually or in a group, working with someone who can be there to reassure you, who can be there to say, look, I know this hurts. I know this is painful, but you are strong enough to do this. To provide that encouragement, to provide that guidance, to provide just that gentle, loving support that you need when the stuff gets hard. And you guys, personal development can be a really difficult thing to do depending on where you are in your life, depending on your past situations, depending on your circumstances, all of your experiences. It can be really tough to push through some of those barriers. And so that is one of the main reasons why self-help, in the context of doing it on your own, doing it by yourself, it's not helping you. It's not helping you because you don't have the accountability. You don't have the support. You don't have the person who's going to come along beside you and help walk you through that journey. So, as my friend Tim said, watch out for the scammers who are offering up fake help. Okay. If you're looking at courses, if you are looking at, even if you're looking at coaching, you guys, I'm a coach and I will tell you right now, I have been the victim of several not so good coaches. They talked a really super great game. And I admit I was early in the game. And so I believed it and was sadly disappointed and lost money doing it. I don't want that for any of y'all because that is crappy. Not only have you lost your money, but you also didn't get any further than where you were when you started, which is really disappointing and can actually make you move backwards. It's very frustrating. So in a nutshell, there you have it. Your self-help isn't working because you're trying to do it by yourself. So I would highly recommend finding a coach if you need one. If you need to talk, therapy is a fabulous thing. And if you need it, go get it. Honestly, like there is no shame in therapy. Go get it. If you need a coach, get a good one. And make sure, I've said this before too, and I will say it again a million times over. If you're looking for a coach, make sure that your coach has a coach. If you're looking for a therapist, make sure your therapist has a therapist. Because we all need someone who is further along than us in the process to help us through. So, and that is what I get the joy and pleasure of doing with my clients. I get the extreme joy of taking them from where they are when I meet them, and I meet them where they are. And it is the most wonderful, glorious thing to watch these women come into who they were created to be, to see their confidence level rise, to see the light inside of them shine, to see them come alive, instead of just being this person who has been operating as a shell of who they really are, to really see them come alive. Y'all, there is no greater joy in the world for me. It's my passion. It is my purpose. It is absolutely what I love doing, because it's so amazing. Every client I have touches me and changes my life. It's not only me helping them get through and walk them through so that they can find their path forward, so that they can continue moving down the path that was created for them. Each one of them touches me too. And I learn about them. I learn about me. I learn how to do what I do even better. It's just an amazing thing. So I'll wrap us up with this, because really, again, the self-help industry is huge. It's huge. And there are more people trying to hop on the bandwagon every day. And there are more people who are searching for that help every day. And the further along we go, the earlier people are going to start looking for that help. So, a lot of the folks now are maybe in their, Gen Xers, so, in their 30s, 40s, things like that. But millennials are now starting to take up a much larger percentage of the consumer market, because they don't want to wait. They've grown up in places where they have such high expectations put on them. They don't know how to process it. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to go through it. They don't know how to handle things like imposter syndrome. Okay. They don't know how to be successful, be all the things to all the people, because that's what they've grown up believing that they should be. So, and that to me hurts my heart tremendously, because that was me. Let's be all the things to all the people and make everyone happy, right? I was the taker owner of the impossible task. Yeah, it was not a very happy time in my life. But needless to say, if you are in that place where you are looking for self-help, just know that you're not going to find the answers that you need. You're not going to find all of the answers that you need, because I don't want to tell you like, oh no, don't ever buy another self-help book. Listen, there's some really good ones out there. Truly, there are. I love a good self-help book because it allows me to think about different things. But self-help books alone couldn't get me to where I am now. Courses alone couldn't get me to where I am now. Seminars by themselves couldn't get me to where I am now. I needed a person. I needed to be able to talk to someone. I needed someone who could understand my problems because they had experienced the same thing. So it's not like they were, reading out of a textbook and telling me some textbook answer. But they had traveled the path that I was on and had been successful in the path, which was why I trusted them, because they had been where I was and now they were past that. So find someone that you can connect with, that you can relate to, that has been where you are, and that is where you want to be, or at least on the way to where you want to be. Connect with them. Invest in yourself. Instead of spending thousands of dollars on books and courses and videos and seminars and all of these things, instead of spending thousands of dollars on that, invest that money in someone who is going to partner with you on the journey. So with that, and again, if you have a favorite self-help book, drop it down in the comments, because I would love to see if there are any that you've read that you really love that I haven't gotten a chance to read yet. So with that, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Those of you who are watching me over on Facebook and those of you who are joining me over on YouTube, I hope that you all have a fabulous night, a great weekend, and I will see you all. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys all again real soon. Take care.